There are definitely more good people out there than there are bad. But that's not who we're going to focus on today. Get ready because we're about to talk about the worst of the worst. The most heartless monsters that society has ever given birth to. Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 most dangerous mafias around the world. Now, here's our number 10 pick, the Russian Mafia. According to Louis Freeh, the former director of the FBI, not only is the Russian Mafia still active in the field, but they're also amongst the most dangerous criminal groups all around the globe. What makes them so scary is the fact that there are so many members to look out for. They have over 6,000 groups, which can easily have more than 2,000 members each. On top of that, there are even more members that are deeply rooted, both in the Russian government and in America's own government as far as we know. They've been a threat to the US national security for a very long time now. They're even said to have actually changed the election votes to their desired results. They are not just the types of people that you can move continents away from and live to tell the tale. They will chase you down to the end of the globe if they really wanted to get back at you. As far as we know, the leader of the Russian Mafia is a man by the name of Semyon Mogilevich, and although there's no proof of his involvement with the group, he definitely appears to be the one in charge of it all. Number 9. The Mexican Mafia. This crime syndicate also goes by La IMI, or more specifically, VM. And while they don't specialize in any one niche per se, they do encompass a lot of criminal activity done with the Mexican borders, and outside of it as well. They're mostly known for how much power they hold in prisons, as they can easily go to prison for life and continue leading their groups. They have been known to smuggle drugs in and out of prisons, and they even took over the narcotics market while having almost all of their leaders behind bars. It is a known fact that if you go to prison and you see someone with a black hand tattoo, you do not engage with them, because those are expert killers that will stop at nothing to get their revenge on anyone. This tattoo is aptly known as the Black Hand of Death, and it is a sign that the person you're looking at has killed in the past, and he's willing to kill again in the future. Definitely stay away from them. Trust us. You do not want to get on their bad side. Number 8. The Sicilian Italian Mafia. The weird thing about the Sicilian Mafia is that they actually don't hold as much power as they used to before. Nowadays, they mostly act as middlemen between other gangs and mafias. But that doesn't mean that they're not the types of people that you ever want to interact with. The current leader of the Sicilian Mafia is none other than Manuel Messina Denaro, and although he is literally a fugitive that is hunted down by the police as we speak, no one has been able to get close to him in the past couple of decades now. They are dangerous individuals, and even though their numbers have greatly diminished, they still control a great part of Sicily, to the point where there's a higher chance that you'll walk past a member of the Sicilian Mafia than there are chances you'll walk past a homeless person. Number 7. The Albanian Mafia. Albania can be a really nice place to visit with your loved ones, or at least it looks like it from a certain point of view. Sadly, the beauty of the place is actually greatly overshadowed by the criminal subculture that has taken over. Although they're not as popular as our other picks on the list, we should mention that the Albanian Mafia is still a great threat that no one should ever mess with. They mostly focus on the human trafficking side of the crime world, and while they do also smuggle in drugs and high-caliber weapons, they usually can be found smuggling poor people that have been kidnapped away from their families and are now on the way to either become someone's slave or to be mutilated by the highest bidder on the dark web. These are the types of monsters that exist within the Albanian Mafia. Truly, only the most despicable can earn such a disdain in society. Number 6. The Israeli Mafia. You may think that Israel is a peaceful place on earth, one that doesn't really have all that much of crime to deal with, but you'd be sadly wrong. There is a lot of crime in Israel. Around every corner you can see drugs being smuggled in, arms trafficking happening in broad daylight, and yes, people being kidnapped from their very own house to be trafficked on the slave market. All of these heinous acts and more are perpetuated by none other than the Israeli Mafia. They are mostly made up of Israeli members, and they are extremely dangerous individuals that will not stand down even when they have a gun pointed at them. These people have been living amongst crime their whole lives, and they're not afraid to really get down and dirty when the job asks for it. Number 5. The Kamura Mafia. There is a reason as to why the Kamura Mafia is known as the bloodiest mafia in all of Italy. And as you can already tell by now, that's not because they made a good Bloody Mary drink. No. Instead, these are amongst the most ruthless people you'll ever meet with. While the 'Ndrangheta Mafia will be a bit scarier, And they do have more members than the Kamura Mafia. But what they lack in numbers, they definitely make back tenfold in times of brutality. They're the ones that would easily attack you in broad daylight and never have to serve any time for anything they do. Number 4, the drug cartel. Colombia has definitely seen better days, and that's a fact. While the country itself can be extremely beautiful, they are plagued by what is more commonly referred to as the most brutal mafia in the world, aka the drug cartel. As their nickname implies, they mostly specialize in the controlling and trafficking of drugs within the community and outside of the country as well. They are especially scary when considering the fact that they control the government, as well as they can easily take you down in your own household, and you won't even be able to stop them, even if you have proof that they did it in the first place. Justice may be blind, but in this case, justice is also crippled by the amount of power these criminals hold over it. Number 3, the Jamaican Yardis. Despite their strangely ethnic name, the Jamaican Yardis are mostly seen operating in Britain. They have actually taken over the drug trading market there since the 50s, and they've been controlling it ever since. They're also known as the most dangerous group in Great Britain. Why? Because they handle most of the gun trades in the world, meaning that they can easily get their hands on enough firepower to take you down in an instant. They are scary and ruthless, and amongst all odds, they remain at the top of the food chain wherever they go. Number 2, the Triads. This mostly China-based criminal group is known for its infamy in the crime world. What do we mean by that? Essentially, this criminal group handles it all. Whether we're talking contract killing, extortion, piracy, drug trafficking, human trafficking, burglaries, you name it, and they handle it. They control a great portion of all of China, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, and even the US, amongst other countries. They have so much reach that even the Russian Mafia tends to stay out of their path for the most part. Number 1, the Yakuza. With over 110,000 members still active in the community, the Yakuza takes our number 1 pick for now because of how powerful they really are out there. Not only are these people killers, but they are also extremely rich monsters that can easily take down anyone. Whether we're talking about hurting them or destroying them socially, they will do it all. There are people, and then there are monsters. These are even worse than monsters. But if you'd like to see more criminal-based content from us, be sure to click on the left and right side of the screen right now. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.